Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Fox and Burger podcast, where we bring you closer to the Asian side of the furry fandom, one episode at a time. I'm your co-host Fox.
I am Burger.
And today we have a very special guest. We're going to go to a place where we haven't been before, Indonesia. And joining us on this safari is Daza. So Daza has been making fursuits since 2016, making over 50 partials and over 10 full bodies. It's the first time we've had an Indonesian fur on the show, so let's give him a big awu.
Hey guys, Daza here. So, let's go.
Yeah, how you doing?
Doing great.
All right, cool. So tell us about yourself. First, tell us about, your fursona and your main fursona. Actually, you mentioned before the podcast you have like a ton of characters. So if you want to just talk about your main furry character.
For my fursona, I have a lot, but mostly I use my Toya, Shiba, and I have my others named Toto. It's my mascot, Fursuit mascot, but I rarely use them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so just tell us more about those two characters.
For my Toya, he based on Pokemon trainer. I love that Pokemon trainer, so I use him to make him as my fursona. And yeah, I name him after him, Toya.
So Toya is the Shiba Inu that you mainly use.
Yes, I mostly use him now.
So is it just a quick question? Is he actually the persona that we're seeing right now on Discord as your profile picture?
Yes, right.
Oh, cool.
For my Fursuit mascot, I use my other fursona. It's Toto, the black wolf, but I rarely use him.
Oh, I'm not sure if I saw him. Not yet, at least. We'll flash it on screen.
So speaking of like mascot and fursuits and stuff, how long have you been a fursuit maker?
It's been 4 years, I think. I started back in 2016, December, if I'm not wrong. You can check it.
What kind of got you into fursuit making? I'm really curious.
I really love animal stuff since I was a kid, and I love crafting.
Mm-hmm.
At the first, I'm a cosplayer and a cosplay maker.
Right. So for the cosplay stuff, you actually made those like the outfits yourself. I'm assuming.
Yes, mostly at an armor stop.
Oh, okay.
At the time, I don't know what furry is and what fursuit is, but I really into this animal thing.
So I guess it's kind of interesting because you're actually coming from a cosplay angle, like a cosplay, almost like an anime background, and you're kind of using that experience and putting that into practice when you make fursuits, I guess.
Yeah, but at the time, not really gone well. It's not really good at the time. I do know the basic. I don't know anything about fursuit. I just buy some foam and craft and editing full, and that's it.
Wow.
I don't even have a furry friend at the time. I don't know anything about furry, but I draw a lot of animal stuff.
Ever since you were a kid. You were drawing animal stuff.
I love draw animal stuff, but I don't know what furry is or fursuit is. And one day I just met one furry friend. She told me about this furry group, and then and introducing me to a furry Indonesia groups.
Mm-hmm.
And start that I finally know what furry and fursuit is. But yeah, at that time I already have my own fursuit that I make it. My first fursuit is my
right.
Toto, the black wolf.
So did you ever decide just one day, because you came from a cosplay anime background, but did you ever decide one day where it was like, you know what, I just want to make fursuits, or was there like a reason why you wanted to start getting into the fursuiting industry?
At the first, I'm never think about that. I remember when I was like school time, I guess. First saw Fursuit, and my thought is, I don't. There's nothing I can do with this. I don't have the material. I can craft this thing. And then after I joined cosplay, I learned it by myself. No one told me. No one wants to tell me. Just
Wow, so you're entirely self-taught.
yeah, no one wants to tell me about this. So yeah, I just do it myself. Keep building, and finally found some material for the fursuit and craft it. Just like that.
Can you tell us about the style that you use for making these fursuits? What is your style? Because it seems like it's more influenced by the Western style of mascot and fursuit design rather than the Eastern kimono style.
For the style, I think is, I'm not sure what style is it, but it's more like the anime cartoonish style, I guess. But yeah, I just kind of mix it. Like I just found my own style and keep building it.
So you're saying it's your own style, which is a mix of the Eastern and Western styles of mascot making?
Yeah, I guess so. Because I think about my first style, it's if you say it's a cartoonish style, it's not really cartoonish because the eyes kind of
Right.
like sparkling animal eyes.
Now, do you have a certain opinion on the kimono style? Do you prefer one style over the other?
For the style, I make three different style: cartoonish, semi-realistic, and kimono. Yes, I make kimono style also,
Interesting.
but I still keep building this style. I'm more good with the cartoonish style actually.
It's kind of interesting that I guess like at least for my observation is that like your style tends to lean a little bit more Western, but I know that at least here in Taiwan, if I can kind of speak a little bit for the Taiwanese furries, there are like a number of Taiwanese furries that really like that kimono style that come from Japan. Like for example, like Amano Jaku, I guess people abbreviate that to AJ sometimes, and then also who was the other one? K-Line, I believe. Those are like the two big names that I hear coming out of Japan. So like when I was thinking about, okay, like who are the major fursuit makers in each Asian country respectively, those two usually come out of Japan, and then coming to you is like, okay, so here's an Asian fursuit maker, here's an Indonesian fursuit maker who doesn't actually seem to make, you know, like what we would think kimono style suits are. So I always found that pretty interesting.
I see. But yeah, my first style it's not that cartoonish. It's more like anime
Sure.
style.
Sure. I can see the mix. Like you mentioned before that it's you would describe it as a mix, right? Yeah.
Yeah, just mixing it.
Do you have actually any kind of like fursuit maker senpai that you ever like looked up to, or do you have like any inspirations?
About that, I'm not really have inspiration at the time because I do know what furry is and I do know what fursuit
Sure.
is. So I just
So you're really independent. Like the style that you developed is really something of your own.
yes, because I don't have
That's
any
amazing.
inspiration at the time. I just like maybe look some reference at Google, and sometimes my client like give me an idea, like, hey, I want this style, I want this eye style, or I want this anything this.
Sure.
Yeah, just building it.
Now, has anyone tried to commission you with a more kimono style?
Yeah, I have few client that commission me a kimono style, a full body, partial, or maybe head only. I already make like 5 kimonos fursuit.
What is the difference in the process of creating a kimono versus creating a more Western or cartoonish style? What's the difference between the process of creating those?
For me, it's easier to craft a cartoony style because kimono style, it's kind of hard for me for the eyes and the mouth part. It's kind of hard for me. For the cartoony style, it's really easy for me. And for the kimono style, it's kind of hard to, I think, the shape, because it's kind of round and big eyes. I mostly do my cartoony style.
So I want to piggyback on the topic of clients, by the way. This is something I'm always interested about for fursuit makers in Asia. How many clients do you actually get in the West? So like either like Europe or the United States?
Actually, I have a lot, especially from US. From US, also have clients from like French or Spain. Also have, but mostly from US.
Wow, so you're world famous.
I guess.
Wow, you're bigger in the States than I thought. I'll say that.
Is there any sort of difficulty between like international package sending out packages internationally to like Europe and the US from Indonesia?
I think there's no problem with the shipping, but yeah, the price, just the price is a problem.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Yeah,
especially to UK.
Wow.
It's really high.
From one island to another.
Yeah, that's why sometimes if the clients want to commission, I always say like, the price not include shipping, and then I tell them like,
yeah,
how many the shipping. If you agree, okay, then we go. If you're not, then okay, it's okay. Yeah, I must tell them first.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, those shipping. I mean, especially if you're packaging a fursuit, and let's just say it's a full body, because you might have to like package that with I mean, I don't know what's called in Indonesian, but like packaging peanuts or like those airbag kind of things, just so that you make sure that your product is safe and sound.
Yeah, and we both agree, right? Like they agree to pay the shipping. It's not like, your fursuit is done. Here's the shipping fee, and then they just shock see the price.
Right.
I don't want that thing to happen again.
So I guess it would be easier if it was going out through the Southeast Asia or East Asia area rather than over to the West in terms of like fees.
Yes.
Yeah, and so that's why I would imagine like based off of my experiences, I know there's like a number of Malaysian furries who have Daza fursuits, who have your fursuit. I think Nori is the one who I can think of that comes to mind. But then I'd also imagine that in Indonesia itself, like you're probably like one of the bigger names, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna ask if I can cut in. Do you have any clients in Taiwan? Because I'm just trying to remember if I've like me and Burger have been to a couple of cons here. Yeah, like who are they by any chance? Your clients in Taiwan. I'm just trying to remember if I saw your work or not.
I have two. One is, I think that is a lynx named Kage.
Oh right, Kage.
Kage Woka.
That's
Oh,
right.
Kage. All right.
Yeah, the co-con chair for Furpoint. Kage.
Yeah, and
The lynx.
yeah, and then for Taiwan, what's that called again? And I have one others. Did you know Pukan?
Yes. Oh, that yeah, Pukan.
Yeah, Pukan.
He's also here in Taiwan.
He's from Thailand, but moved to Taiwan.
Yep, he's studying here in Taiwan.
Yes.
Originally from Thailand. The we call him the cotton candy doggo.
Yes, the colors.
Yeah, I was glad when I met him at Furmit. It was nice to finally see him in person.
More fursuit for Taiwan's fursuit that coming soon.
So I think I want to ask now. We know that you have been the GOH for Pawaii in the past. You'll have to correct me. Was that in 2018?
Yes, right.
2018, right? So how did you like Pawaii then? That is actually the one FurCon in Asia, well, among several that I haven't been to. So like, what was it like being in Indonesia's first FurCon?
Just feel so proud, but at the time I'm not really have a good time because I have a family problem at the time.
Sure.
Almost.
Sorry to hear.
Yeah. Almost cancel the become a guest, but I'm glad everything okay, and I'm proud that I can be guest at Pawai at the first time.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about Pawai? Like, where in Indonesia is it?
I think I kind of forgot where's the location.
But I think it's Jakarta, right?
Yes, Jakarta.
Gotcha. Everyone
Yeah,
We're always
furiously
at
Googles
Jakarta.
Jakarta on the Google Maps.
Jakarta is on the Java island.
The capital. So we'll always be there.
I heard the traffic's not so great.
That's the part I hate from Jakarta.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. I was, well, at least for me, I was just gonna say that Pawaii is one con that I really wanted to go to, especially because 2018 was their first year, if I'm not mistaken, and ever since before 2018, Indonesia has not had a FurCon, and that may come to a surprise to some of our viewers who in the States. We are used to having FurCons that have been going on for several years. You know, I mean, I don't know, like ever since like the 1980s, for example. So there are some cons that have been going on for like 10 plus years. And so it was really interesting to see, you know, when I came to Asia for the first time in 2017, it was really interesting to see the growth of these Asian FurCons.
Yeah, come to join sometimes.
I really would love to. You know, if COVID wasn't a thing, I would love to go to Indonesia.
Yeah, it's not really a good year.
Yeah, I have actually been to Indonesia. Granted,
really?
I went to Bali, which
How'd
is
you like it?
the touristy
Bali's great.
place.
I heard that. I heard about that too.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind going to other parts along Indonesia. There's like a really tall mountain that's pretty cool on one of the islands. There's also like this very ancient pyramid structure that's on one of the islands. I think it's close to...
Are you talking about like near Bali or?
It's near Bandung.
Borobudur?
Yeah, that one, I think.
Yeah, that's the one that's shaped like a pyramid.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's Borobudur.
It's always like ancient historical structures and temples and all that interests me. It was one of the main things I was looking for when I wouldn't say looking for. It was one of the main things that caught my eye when I went to Thailand for the first time.
Right.
I see.
Right. Yeah.
But if you,
Yeah, I was gonna say, you might find those like ancient structures in Thailand just as well. I guess like when you go to like Ayutthaya or somewhere a little bit outside of Bangkok, I'd assume.
Exactly, yeah. Ayutthaya has a whole bunch of them just because it was the old capital before, I think, some other empire tried to burn it down, and then they all moved down south towards Bangkok.
Right.
But don't quote that on me. I'm not a Thai historian. I mean, like, isn't history more your thing?
That's right. And I think that would be the Burmese Empire who probably burnt down their capital. But yeah, that is my thing. So I remember in 2018 you were the GOH, right? And so in 2019 you also went to Pawai as well, right?
Yes.
So I was just asking, like, did you go as like a regular attendee at that point, or did you come back as like a vendor?
The second time, right?
Yeah, the second time.
Just like a normal attendant. But
Sure.
also,
So basically you got to enjoy the con as like a normal person, I guess you would say.
I think it's better be like a normal person. Like we can enjoy the con.
Exactly.
Yeah, and also I sell some stuff there.
Did you notice I mean I don't expect you to have like the numbers right in front of you, but did you notice like a significant like increase in attendees, like comparing 2018 to 2019, or or were the numbers like relatively the same?
No, I actually have more attendees.
Like noticeably more, like a really big growth.
Yeah, it's better than the first time.
Yeah, it was also in a different location, right?
Yes,
If
and the
I'm not
location
mistaken.
more good. It's a hotel. Yeah, I think it's more improved than the first time.
Yeah.
Okay, so Daza, so you've experienced the convention as a guest of honor and as a regular attendee slash vendor, but how would you compare your experience going to an Indonesian convention compared to like conventions in other countries?
I never go to other countries con before.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, just local one. So I'm not really know how's the different.
So can I ask you then? Can I ask you like what's one con that you really want to go to then? Like let's just say if COVID wasn't a thing.
Let's see.
I'm assuming you have a list. You got to have a list if you haven't been to any foreign cons.
Maybe like Forum and Forfinity. Is that right? Yeah, just actually I'm not really have that list because I'm kind of hard to travel because I have a dog and no one take care of it.
Right.
I can't really travel much.
I'll take care of your dog.
Yeah, he's already old.
Oof. Yeah, I would think Firm would be a good choice. Shout out
Yeah.
to the Malaysian furs and shout out to Firm. Because I did go to Firm in 2018, I believe. It was either 2018 or 2019. I'm pretty sure it's 2018 though. And of course, for you, since you live in Indonesia, that's Firm would be really close for you.
Yes, it's near.
Did you say the second con that you wanted to go to was? Did you say Infernity or?
Ah, yes, right.
Oh yeah, the one in Taiwan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. I'm biased, so you know which one I'm gonna vouch for.
Well, I mean, now there's more than one convention in Taiwan.
That is true.
Because now you have Furmit, you have Furpoint, you have, well, we were going to have Kaohsiung Tea Party, but that didn't run. That was postponed due to concerns about regulations, about COVID-19.
Right. Yeah, I would have been. Man, we would have been preparing for Kaohsiung Tea Party right about now if it wasn't for COVID, because I think they were gonna host it. You might know this, but I'm forgetting. Was it either March or April that the Kaohsiung Tea Party was going to be held?
It would be April.
Gotcha. Well, I mean that is to say. So for Daza, I mean, hey, you have options now. I mean, don't let me sway you to going one con. You should definitely experience them all for yourself.
Yeah, I really want to.
What would you say would be the best part of Pawaii? Like, why would you want someone to come to Pawaii?
I think it's the best part is we can like fursuiting together, sharing stuff, fun stuff like that.
Well, part of it would be experiencing Indonesian culture, right?
Yeah, But mostly when I'm at Pawai, I'm like selling some stuff, so I'm not really join the party.
So you're a busy doggo.
Yeah, just being busy there, so I'm not really know what's going on there.
I wanted to ask, and please correct me if I'm wrong about this, but at Hawaii, don't you guys have like this like big dinner thing at the con, or like isn't there like a big like communal kind of meal, or am I thinking something else?
The first Pawai, yes, we have a dinner together.
Mhm.
It's
Is that something like is that like unique to Indonesian culture where you
Yes.
guys like have this like big gathering, like yeah,
Yes.
because I think I saw footage of that from Cheers's video at one point in the past.
Yes, it's Indonesia food. I don't remember what it's called, but it's Indonesia
But I'm
food.
pretty sure it was like good food. It was like probably like huge amounts of food and I don't know, satay and like nasi goreng or something.
There's no.
I'm getting too hungry.
So, can you share some stories about us specifically fursuiting around in Indonesia? Like, how do the Indonesian people react to fursuits and furries and all that?
Yeah, I'd like to know that too.
I think the reaction is different from here and the Jakarta. It's here like the people are not really nice, I guess. Just like
Oh, you said people aren't really nice?
yes, just like sometimes they want they're like calling like hey dog or something like that.
So they think like they're weird, I guess. Like, are you saying like they kind of like the people on the streets or whatever think like the fursuiters are weird?
Yeah, and a clown.
A clown.
Yeah, that's
Do
a
they,
part
do
I
they
think.
ever think that they are cosplayers though?
A cosplayer and a fursuiter is different.
Ah, so Indonesia is different.
People will recognize it, like hey, this one is cosplay as Naruto or other character.
Ah, I see.
For fursuiter, it's like hey, I want to take a picture with a dog or a fox or whatever they want to call.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in Taiwan, there's like a big mascot culture. So like people in these like so-called like fursuits or mascot suits, it's actually kind of common. So in Indonesia though, like is there a similar culture where you have like a mascot for a company or for the city or something like that? Like do they ever think that the fursuiter is a mascot?
I think if at Jakarta, I think they know, but I'm at the Borneo. It's a small city, so people not really know this stuff, I guess. But if at Jakarta, they know what is a mascot is, know what is a cosplay is. They know, but at my place, they not really know. They just like seeing people dressing up like whatever is it. Like weird people.
But I just gotta ask though, how does it feel to fursuit in Indonesia? Because man, it's got to be really really hot.
Oh, it's hot.
I mean, hotter than Taiwan, like hot and humid, throughout the whole year.
At Borneo here, it's really hot. But at Jakarta, I'm not. I think it's not that hot. But here
Really?
it's really hot. I'm just like fursuiting like 5 minutes and then I'm done. I don't want to.
That sounds very similar to like like from my friends in Singapore or Thailand, in any like tropical country. They're always like, man, they can never fursuit for longer than let's just say like 30 minutes.
Yeah, but I surprised Cloud like 3 months ago visit me in the Borneo. He fursuiting like more than 30 minutes and he's okay.
Wow,
I'm just shocked.
what a strong guy.
Yeah, me like open my head like
Heart of the tiger.
5 minutes and then no, I can keep going like this.
Yeah, pro tip, to any fursuiters out there, and I know Burger knows this already, but stay hydrated. Stay hydrated.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
So in Taiwan, it's 14 Celsius, and so it gets cool here. But in any tropical country, or if you stay anywhere near the tropics, man, fursuiting can be quite the challenge.
It's really challenging.
Can you tell us a bit about specifically where in Indonesia most furries are at? Like, are they mostly in Jakarta? Are they mostly in another city? Like, where are the furries in Indonesia? Which islands are the most furry populated?
Mostly fursuiter from Jakarta. For furry, I think there's a lot. But for fursuiter, mostly at Jakarta.
I guess that's just because Jakarta is where the more people with more money live, I guess.
It would make sense, because I remember in our polar episode we talked about that, and like most of the Thai furries I know are congregated in that greater Bangkok area, and it would make sense since that's like the richest, arguably speaking, the richest city of Thailand, and more of the fursuiters are going to be coming from that city. So I wanted to know, going back to like the Indonesian, furries, do you guys, before COVID, of course, do you guys ever have, like weekly meetups or anything like that? I mean, well, at least for the furries in Jakarta.
Yeah, they have. But only for fursuit from Jakarta.
So for furries like staying outside of that area, I guess, like, would you say, is it a little bit harder to meet them, to meet other furries, or how is that?
I think for the community, Jakarta is the biggest. Yeah, they more gathering like 2 weeks, like every weeks.
Wow, weekly gatherings.
Yeah. But only for the
pre-COVID, of course. Only for the Jakarta furs, is that right? I was curious about that because here, so I live in Taipei. There doesn't actually seem to be sort of like a unified furry meetup every week or even every month here in Taipei. It's kind of split up between different cliques, and so it's a little bit, I guess, there's separate groups. I guess there's separate groups of different people, and I guess they hang out on their own time. Like I'm in a couple of groups, but truth be told, I'm not actually like, I don't have like that weekly meetup to meet with those people. So usually, unless someone asks me, hey, do you want to hang out, or if I want to do like fursuit photos, for example, I'm usually not going to see those people until then. So I was just kind of curious to see like how closely knit those Indonesian furries are.
Well, there have been some meetups that they're trying to organize over closer south in the Tainan and Kaohsiung area, actually, just because.
Sure.
Well, for me, it started out as a group of furries around Taiwan wanting to go down to Kaohsiung furry tea party, and once that fell through, everybody was like, okay, well, we're already gathered a group chat. Let's go ahead and meet up somewhere anyway. So basically at the end of January, there was an organized little photo shoot and 2 different spots in Tainan. And I think they're trying to do one this month as well. They haven't finalized the details. And unfortunately, I can't go because that'll be part of when I will be moving to a new apartment.
Ah, gotcha. Oh, so you guys are going... Oh, okay, so that plan was originally to like go to Tainan, and unfortunately you can't go.
Exactly. And like,
I see.
Especially going from Tainan, from Taoyuan to Tainan is like, that's a pretty long travel. I mean, it's possible, but it's either expensive or takes hours on end.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah, like if you're not taking the HSR, then probably going to be taking like either the bus, the intercity bus, or the TRA, the train, the regular train. So Daza, I did want to ask you a question. and again, going back to the topic of fursuits, though. So we know you've been a fursuit maker for a few years now, but where do you see yourself like in the next few years? Like, do you want to keep doing fursuits, or are you gonna, go into a different industry? So like, where do you see yourself like in the next few years?
Okay, for me, I want to keep going. I love making fursuit.
Mm-hmm.
It's really fun. So I want to keep doing it and keep improving my fursuit in the future.
What kind of suits do you want to make in the future? Like, is there like an animal that you haven't done before, or do you have like a favorite animal that you really want to do?
Yeah, actually, I have one animal that I'm never make it before. It's horse. I really love horse.
Oh, a horse.
No one ever commissioned me before. So yeah, I hope in the future, maybe I have one clients that have a horse persona.
Signal to your horse fairies out there, and also technically any bronies out there, if you want a horse fursuit.
Not bronies. just horse.
And well, I have one question, one final question to kind of to wrap that up. If someone were to begin fursuit making, what's your biggest advice? Like, where should they begin?
For the fursuit making, I think they can start with their own style. Like, for me, I use the different material than the normal, mostly fursuiter do. Like a soft form, I use both a hard one and a soft one. And sometimes people do ask me, what should I do for start making a fursuit? And I just say, like, you find your own style. You can see the tutorial at YouTube and you can keep building it, like using your style. Because I don't know if people can like following my style, like making fursuit, because everyone have their own style.
Right.
And we cannot force that, right? So yeah, just telling them to find their own style, like picking tool, material by their own. Because I'm starting this from my cosplay making.
All right. Well, we appreciate you chatting with us tonight, Daza. Very appreciative that you could spend some time and talk more about the Indonesian furry fandom with us.
Thank you. Sorry if there's said something wrong or mispronounced. I'm not really good at speaking.
Thank you so much for being on the show.
Okay, so Daza, while we're wrapping things up, can you tell us about your social media? What social media do you use, and how can people reach out to you?
Okay, at first I'm use Facebook. I have a Facebook page named Daza Fursuit, and Twitter with also the same name, and also Instagram with also the same name. So people will easily find me there since I use the same name.
Okay, well, thank you everyone for listening to this podcast. This has been the Fox and Burger Podcast. Special thanks again to Daza for joining us. I have been Burger.
And this is Fox.
And we will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.